Hello, Cardiff Devils fans. I am delighted to be joined by Cardiff Devils player Blair Riley. Blair, how are you, sir?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's been a different summer. I think for most hockey players, a lot of uncertainty, but especially for guys that were playing in the elite league. It didn't look great for the most part of the summer. As we got closer to September and the restrictions kind of weren't being lifted. Um, yeah, it was difficult. So I know a lot of guys are in a similar position, but some leagues are getting going. So some guys are back playing, and that's obviously good to see. Hopefully the elite league comes back strong as ever after this one season away.
Blair, you mentioned it's been an uncertain time for a lot of players and a lot of leagues, but we understand that you've made a decision on your future. What have you decided to do at this stage?
Yeah, I've decided to retire from professional hockey at this stage. As the summer kind of went along, I started to really think about where I was at in my life. Where things were kind of going for myself as not only a professional hockey player, but outside of the game. Um, I got family here that I've kind of missed spending time with them over the last couple of years. I got a nephew that's 4 now, and I've missed some important years with him. Um, I got a girlfriend that's from Kamloops that has all of her friends and family back home here. So it just felt like the things that were really important to me were leading me towards staying home back in British Columbia and moving on from hockey. I've been very fortunate to play for 10 years professionally, and many years before that in junior and college hockey. So it's been a phenomenal experience, and it's just been nothing but for the most part, good times and fond memories that I'll cherish. But at this time, it just felt like it was the time to move on.
Blair, you mentioned there that the future doesn't involve hockey. Can you give us an insight into what the next step is for Blair Riley?
I can now, yeah. So as things were kind of going along in the summer, I was thinking about what I might want to do next. And a cousin of mine in Kamloops has been in project management for about 15 years, and she started her own company in 2017. She offered me a position to start out as a project coordinator and learn the business. So that's what I've been doing. I'm on week 4. That's why I get on the collared shirt, and it's right in Kamloops, which is very very fortunate opportunity for me. So that's what I've been doing the last 4 weeks. It's been a change. It's been new and exciting, lots to learn, and I'm trying to take in as much as I can, and and then try to learn and grow and see where it takes me.
Well, that's great to hear that you've landed yourself an opportunity so soon after making your decision. I guess now is the time to maybe take a step back and have a look at the career that you've managed to forge. Anyone who's looked at your Elite Prospects file will know what a career it's been. But I want to go all the way back to your time at Ferris State. How important was it to you to have that education to fall back on when you decided to start on your hockey journey?
Um, yeah, I guess at the time I would say that my parents would probably say it was more valuable for me, and I was more interested in the hockey side of things at the time. It gave me an opportunity to play another 4 years to develop at a high level and move to the States and get a new experience. But where I'm at now, and especially as I kind of put a resume together and look to advance in a different world after hockey, um, it was the best decision that I could have made, and one that I'm very happy that I did. I met some of my best friends there. When you play for 4 years on the same team, you get really close with a lot of the guys, and we're in classes together and lived in the same house together, and you just spent so much time there that it was 4 of the better years that I had playing hockey for sure.
What foundations did Ferris State give you hockey-wise to launch into your pro career?
Probably the biggest thing is just the kind of the schedule that you're on. You're in full-time classes, doing workouts and training in between, and then you got games Friday, Saturday, and traveling in between. Getting used to kind of the rigorous schedule that would come up in pro hockey. It was a very high level. The CCHA at the time was like Michigan State, Ohio State. So a lot of big colleges, universities that we were excited going in and playing in some of those buildings that kind of had a pro atmosphere as well. So I didn't know at that time that I was going to have a pro career. I was really just focused on playing for those 4 years and enjoying my time. And I guess as it worked out, it really did prepare me for professional hockey afterwards.
When you did make your leap into pro hockey, your early 20s, your first place you landed is Las Vegas. Was that more by kind of luck or judgment on your part? It seems like a pretty good place in the world to start a professional career.
Yeah, that's what kind of everyone says, but I was on an East Coast salary. I was making $415 a week, so I wasn't living a lavish Las Vegas lifestyle by any means. That's where I got to meet Sean McMonagle. We played there our first year as rookies, and we became very good friends there. It was a very cool experience. Not somewhere I probably would have ever expected to be playing hockey. But at that time, I was really more focused on getting to the American League and hopefully the NHL. So, I was in Las Vegas and got to experience, some of the scene there, but it wasn't a glamorous lifestyle there for me at the time.
You didn't take you long to make the American League, and you established yourself at that level really with Bridgeport. Your memories from Bridgeport, it seemed like you matured into more of a leader during your time there.
Yeah, I guess like for my time in Las Vegas the year before, I had a couple call-ups. I think first one was to San Antonio and then to Peoria for maybe 2 or 3 weeks each time. And then the following year when I got called up to Bridgeport, it was basically a do or die situation for me at that point. Like by the third opportunity, if you don't stick around, you're probably going to be branded as a career East Coast player and maybe looking to Europe or retiring. Really, that's the reality of it. Mm-hmm. So when I went to Bridgeport, I kind of went there with that attitude that was kind of my last opportunity. And it just worked out that Brent Thompson, the coach there, gave me a good opportunity to play. And some of the players there, like Brett Gallant and Trevor Gillies, were two guys that were physical, tough players, and they kind of taught me how to play a physical role and stick up for yourself, maybe create space for yourself, and then show the team and other teams that you can play as well. So when I went there with that attitude, I kind of told myself I wasn't gonna leave anything on the table, more or less. And as that happened, I ended up making a pretty good run of things in Bridgeport, and had 2 pretty good years there, and met again a lot of my better friends that were going through kind of a similar experience at the same time, trying to either carve out a career in the American League or some guys that were going up and down between the NHL. So, and now it was pretty cool this year to see the Islanders make a run. A few of those guys, Casey Cizikas and Brock Nelson, were young rookies when I was there. So it's cool to see some of those guys still taking a run at the Stanley Cup and go through their development as well.
You talked about learning from some of the tougher guys about how to adapt to the American League. Just how grueling is it on your body to go through that AHL schedule, playing the type of game that you played? You did it for 3-4 seasons, full schedules. That must take its toll when you get to the summer.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you're in it. Mentally, it's it's tough getting yourself in that mindset every single game. And a lot of those schedules are like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon games, and you got to bring that edge for every one of those. That's tough to do. It's mentally draining. It's physically tough, and it's why it's probably a short-lived career, because it's tough to stay in that mode for too long. So I'm glad I got to experience it, but I was also glad when it was over.
How did the move to St. John's come about from Bridgeport?
So I guess at that time I was a free agent, and I went through the full free agency process. July 1st hit, and my agent kind of had some different negotiations going on. And one of them actually was Vancouver, the Vancouver Canucks at the time, and it just ended up working out that St. John's seemed like the better fit. I knew a few of the guys there. Zach Redmond was a teammate of mine in Ferris State. Cale Morat was actually my hotel roommate for about 2 months in Bridgeport. He was there. Josh London was another friend of mine from Las Vegas that I played with. So I just felt comfortable with the situation there. So Craig Heisinger was the GM at the time, and he was very excited to bring me in. And I just felt like it was the right opportunity, and it really couldn't have worked out any better at the time. It was a very unique place to live, and such a passionate fan base in St. John's. Got to experience the East Coast winter in Canada, which I don't know if I need to do that again, but it was a very cool place to be, and an amazing spot to play hockey.
I believe I'm right in saying you did get some preseason time with the Calgary Flames before you left North America. And I think you were probably involved in one of the more bizarre situations in in preseason NHL history. Can you talk us through the very short-lived debut that you had there?
Yeah, it was very short-lived. And I guess if that's the way that it was going to happen, it was probably the best way for it to go, because it made for a pretty good story. I got put into the lineup. I think it was right before warm-ups. We were playing the Canucks, so I grew up cheering for my whole life as a youngster, and ended up getting in a fight with Brandon Prostoff, maybe the second shift I was playing, but it was still only about a minute and a half in, and went to the penalty box. And the coach didn't make the switch on the lineup card because I wasn't even supposed to be playing. I wasn't supposed to be in for warm-ups even. So my name wasn't on the timesheet. Refs came over, and my night was done. I was kicked out of the game. I got kicked out, and one of the players that I ended up playing in Stockton with that year was Kenny Agostino, who ended up being one of my better buddies. He had to come down from the press box, put his gear on, and go out and play the rest of that period and finish the game. Bob Hartley was a coach at the time, and he did me a pretty big solid the next night. It was a back-to-back with Vancouver in the preseason, and he gave me the opportunity to play the next night. So I got to go on the charter, play the game in Vancouver in front of some friends and family. And that was pretty cool, because I wasn't certainly slotted to play that game, but I think he kind of felt bad that that's how it went for me. So.
So you played that one last season in Stockton. Wasn't a full year. Was it a shoulder injury that kept you out for a large portion of that last year in the AHL?
Yeah. I ended up missing, I think it was 20 something games at that time. And they were kind of going through a transition where they were getting a lot of the younger players into the lineup. So I was a veteran guy. It happens quick at that level. And they were developing their younger players. So they were playing a lot of the games. So um, it made the decision to move overseas a lot easier for me. I could see the writing on the wall from partway through that season, so I was able to begin looking overseas. Kind of halfway through that season, and it probably made that transition a little bit easier for me at that time.
Why the UK? I'm sure you weren't short of offers at that time, but it was Belfast is where you land. What is it about the land of the giants that attracted you there?
Um, yeah, the master's program was a huge draw for me at that time. I knew at one point in my career that was something that I wanted to hopefully do. And the way things were going for me, they offered me a good opportunity to really play again, which I'd kind of been missing really since the start of my pro career. I was mostly kind of branded in the third, fourth line role, and so Steve Thornton reached out and he said they would give me a good opportunity to play big minutes, play on the power play, and enjoy the game again. Really. So Chris Higgins again, who I first met in Las Vegas, reached out in the summer and kind of got things going with me. And and they offered me an opportunity to play with Higgy and Forney at the time, and it really went as well as expected. And I really kind of got to enjoy the game again. So it ended up being a great move for me, um, and then the chance to go back to university and work on my master's was definitely a worthwhile opportunity as well.
During your time in Belfast, you really seemed to embody the message that was coming out of the club. Did you enjoy that Road Warriors moniker that you guys had? And it just seemed that the Belfast teams you were a part of changed the identity of that club a little bit and seemed to turn it around and really change what was a team that wasn't challenging for a couple of years to go straight back to being, what would eventually be the team to beat with your league win. Did you relish that change of identity that you seem to spearhead?
Yeah, I think, of course, Adam Keefe moving in the head coaching role was a big part of that. And they're kind of in a unique spot in the elite league that a lot of our weekend trips are overnight trips. So, we would fly the day of the game Sunday a lot of the times, and then we'd have to overnight. So we would spend a lot of time together as a team. And the way that the scheduling was set up through the SSC, the half of the season, we're spending a large part of that on the road. And through that, I think we just kind of built a good bond as teammates, and we were able to kind of put our work boots on and play those road games, and then look forward to the second half of the season when we kind of knew our identity, knew who we were as a team, and felt comfortable playing together. And we felt like that was kind of our time to really shine and enjoy ourselves.
Never a easy topic for myself to talk about in these interviews, but this is your career. Was that, how relieved were you that team got their just rewards on that last day of the league season? You're at your awards night, the Devils don't beat the Coventry Blaze, and you're crowned Elite League champions. That was a long, grueling title race. What were your emotions on that night?
Yeah, I guess it probably makes this decision now a little bit easier, to be honest. That was my first league trophy as a professional. under some unusual circumstances, but given the way the league's set up to have that be an entire season's long chase for that trophy was something that made it even more special. But just the way that it happened, it was almost like we didn't expect it going into that last day. Like I remember we were going to our awards banquet, and until maybe like 10 minutes left, we really didn't even think it was a possibility. So to go from that to actually finding out the news with our whole team there in our suits, it's just such a bizarre way to have something like that happen. And I don't know if it'll truly happen again. It's just such an unusual circumstance that obviously played out incredibly well for us. And it was something that we all got to enjoy, and our fans got to enjoy as well, because they were all there at the banquet as well. And yeah, that's something that'll stick with me for sure.
So you're a league winner. You've been part of the leadership group in Belfast, and then last off season, you're probably the biggest transfer news of the summer, taking the step over to the rivals, the Cardiff Devils, the fellow title chasers. What drove your decision to make that jump? Because it seemed like you were very much loved in Belfast, but the Devils managed to take your signature.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. I've said that a number of times. But looking back now, it's something that I'm very happy I did. A lot of the core guys in Cardiff that I had a lot of respect for was a big reason that I came over to play with and to get to know, like, Joey Martin and Haddad, and Dicko became a great friend. A lot of guys that I wouldn't have got the opportunity to play with and get to meet have now become some really good friends. So Todd and the ownership group in Lordo were, they were aggressive in getting me to come over, and they delivered on everything. So they really do things right. They do right by the players, and they've built an organization that all their fans can be proud of, and one that I was proud to have been able to represent. I wish we could have got the league title that I think we were well on our way to getting. But that's the way it goes. We were very proud.
Sorry, Brad, do you have an opinion on that? Do you think that you should have been crowned league champions at the time that decision was made?
I mean, honestly, not really. Like, it would have taken a bit of the shine off of it, just knowing that the season wasn't complete. It sucked for everyone. It sucked for us especially, because I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that we would have got that over the line, but you never know. And to speculate it's not really how sports go. You can't hope and make decisions based on what could be's or what ifs. So I wish we could have got 5 more games under our belt, but that's the reality. I haven't cried over it. Of course, our whole team was disappointed by it, and we felt like we got a bit of a raw deal, but so did plenty of other people, based on the circumstance. There was unfortunately a lot bigger issues going on in the world at the time than our league title chase, and it's unfortunate that we couldn't complete it, but the fact is we didn't complete it. So that's the reality. I know it'll be talked about for years to come, but it is what it is now. There's no point in hoping it into existence when it's water under the bridge.
Was there a part of you that, if this pandemic had cleared itself up a little earlier, say, May time, was there a part of you that wanted to come back and finish that job with Cardiff and take that league clinch that league
Yeah,
title?
no, I fully had intentions of playing at the start of the summer. I was coming back to Cardiff for another year. That was the plan. That was a done deal. Um, and I think a large portion of the core was returning as well, and I think we would have been in a great position to do it. And I had a couple opportunities to go and play in different leagues in Europe, but it just didn't feel right. I was comfortable in the UK, and I was comfortable finishing my career in Cardiff. So that was the plan, and that's what the reality would have been. But as things moved along, I really had to make a decision because sitting out for a season at my age really wasn't realistic. And as I made the decision that I really didn't want to entertain going and playing anywhere else, this was the logical step. And I'm just fortunate that a job opportunity presented itself to kind of move me in the direction of a new career and something else to put my energy towards.
We can't leave this conversation without talking about the championship that you did win last year. You were chosen to go to Davos for the Spengler Cup to represent Team Canada. I mean, as a accolade for your last season in hockey, that must be an unbelievable achievement for you to look back on now and forever in the future.
Yeah, that was very special. It was unexpected. And I guess if that's going to be how my final year ends up, I'm happy that I was able to do that and get the opportunity to win the gold and represent Canada and have a very unique experience over the wintertime. And, I was thankful of Lordo and Todd at the time, and even more so now knowing how much it means to me and how special it is for them to let me go and play in that and represent Cardiff in the UK as well, because I think the league does need to be put in a bit better of a spotlight. The teams in the top of that league and right down to the bottom deserve some more respect in continental Europe, and I think hopefully that can help put a little bit of light on the league and help continue it to grow when they come back.
Blair, I don't know if it's possible, but how do you sum up the adventure that's been your career over the past few years? What are going to be the big standout memories for you? What are some of the words maybe that you'll use when people ask you to describe the ride you've been on over these past 15 years or so?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess when I sat down to do a bit of writing on things, I was mostly just grateful. Grateful that I got to travel around, meet so many incredible people and share some experiences and create some bonds with a lot of people that'll be friends of mine until I die, basically. And and now as I move forward, I'm happy that I was able to take some schooling with me that have hopefully helped the transition to the so-called real world. And I guess just full of gratitude. It's been a fun ride, and one that went on longer than me or my parents could have ever dreamed of, to be honest. So I'll take all the memories and all the friendships with me now. So I'm very thankful.
Well, Bear, on behalf of the Cardiff Devils, it is a great shame we didn't get to see more of you in a Devils jersey, but for the moments that we did, we'll certainly never forget them, and your contribution to our team and to UK hockey as a whole during your time with Belfast. So thank you very much, sir. Best of luck in retirement, and hopefully we will see you at a Cardiff Devils game down the road when you can come and have a few beers and relax a bit and then enjoy the Viola hospitality.
Yeah, I guess I can jump in the fan section now. Next time I'll be like, well, I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a fun ride for the year in Cardiff. I wish I could have filled out the contract because we could have done some special things there. But I'll certainly be following along. I know the fans will stay active and passionate on Twitter, so I'll follow along when the week gets going. I wish you best of luck, obviously.
Thank you very much, Blair. We'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye now.